Hey VV Nation, welcome to the channel. My name is Glenn, Senior Stock Market Strategist for VectorVest. Glad to be here, glad to have you here, and it's the 6 p.m. video. So, what I'm liking about the video that I'm about to show is that it's one of the two hottest places that I think you can be in right now. Of course, one is the Russell 2000. Seems like those stocks are really still rocking and rolling. I'd still be careful though. But the other space is defense. I'm going to show you why I feel that. And I've got some news articles that I want to show you. And from there, I've got stocks. I got 5 stocks and 1 ETF that I want you to look at. But then I'm going to walk you through the process of how I got to those stocks. So if you're ready, here we go. Let's start off here with news. So I showed this in Trending Thursday, and a U.S. Navy carrier strike group fired nearly 800 missiles and bombs during its Red Sea fight against the Houthis. And of course, that was the Dwight D. Eisenhower carrier group. During its deployment, the strike group fired nearly 800 missiles and bombs, the Navy has disclosed. So from that perspective, all of those have to be replaced. Now that they're back in port, they're going to have to restock the ship. So that means that a lot of stocks in that space, like Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, RTX, or Raytheon, these companies will, if they haven't already, will get contracts to replace those, and they will. So that's one thing I like. Other stocks that I'm looking at, General Dynamics. This was just more of an earnings. They missed on earnings, but beat on revenues by a lot. I'm thinking that if the space is rocking and rolling, the stocks within the space should be rocking and rolling. So General Dynamics. How about this? This was an air show in the UK. Boeing. How about that? Name coming back. Boeing takes the lead in plane orders. So here, Boeing bagged the most orders, 118 on the second day of the event, including 20 777-9s yet to be certified, though, for Qatar Airways, the airplanes, to enter these planes into service in Q1 of 2026. Now, other plane companies or rivals like Airbus got 69 orders. Boeing, then here we go. Embraer did not sell any commercial aircraft at the event, yet announced several developments for its E-jet planes, including an automatic takeoff system for the E2. GE and Pratt & Whitney also secured orders for aircraft engines at that event. But the big news here is that Boeing got the crux of the orders. So that's on my list. Lockheed Martin announces the sale of 20 F-35 Lightning II jets to Greece. All right. There you go. Other countries still looking for some of the best planes in the world, F-22, F-35. They need to get them from companies like Lockheed Martin. Northrop Grumman, this was another earnings play. They beat on both earnings and on revenue, it looks like, and raised their guidance. Rocket Labs, set to launch date of the 51st Electron mission. Now, it's interesting about this. Owl for One and One for Owl mission is scheduled to launch from Rocket Lab Launch Complex in Mahia, New Zealand, during a 14-day launch window that opens July 31st. In addition to deploying a single Stri-X satellite to low Earth orbit for the mission, the company will perform an advanced mid-mission maneuver with electrons kick-staged to shield the satellite from sun and reduce radiation exposure. What means that it keeps that satellite up there longer and healthier longer. The mission will be the 5th launch in a total of 16 launches on the Electron 4 Synspective. All right, so with that being said, I've got 4 stocks. I got 5 stocks and 1 ETF. Let's get into the system now, because now I'm going to walk you through the process of how I got here. I started off with the industry viewer, sorted it alphabetically. Well, because I knew aerospace and defense was going to be at the top. I wanted to see where it sat as an RT ranking amongst 222 industries. And right now, aerospace and defense is number 25. That's not half bad. You'll also notice that there's 3 industries in that sector. How did I pick the industry I wanted? Well, I went to aerospace and defense, OEM, original equipment manufacturers. Why? Because it had an earnings growth as an industry of 13%. I think that over the next week or so, I'll look at the other 2 and see if I can find you some other stocks in the aerospace and defense. All right. But I started off with the OEM because it had the highest earnings growth rate. Then I wanted to look at the sector to see how the sector was doing. I did a right click. I viewed the sector graph. I'm going to bring that up, put this on a 3-month graph. Looking at the sector graph, look at that. Aerospace and defense as a sector is in the fast lane. I do see the big wick at the top, but again, I think that the orders are going to start to have to come into these companies, whether it's for planes, whether it's for missiles, or anything dealing with defense. Currently in the fast lane right now. All right, so we looked at which industry I wanted to look at. We looked at the sector as a whole. Let's go look at the industry, the OEM industry. View the industry graph. Let's take a look at it. Put this again on a 3-month graph. Look at that. So the sector was in the fast lane. The industry, the OEM industry, not quite a lot of selling pressure. I'm not very scared about that because the 3 industries is what's moving the sector higher. It had been in the fast lane, pulled back a little volatile right now, but I think that the stocks that we'll look at will be able to hold their own in the current market's condition. So now I've taken you through the process of how I got to the industry I want based off of the sector. What I really did was drill down from the sector down to the industry. And then from the industry, I got you to the watch list of the stocks that I wanted. And here they are. I'm going to bring them up for you right now. Let's set this up so you can see all of them. Here we go. Here's our 5 stocks: General Dynamics, Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, Rocket Labs, and Boeing. Notice that as I record this video, they were all up for the day. No sell recommendations. I like that. RTs, which would I keep my eyes on the most? I'm looking at, here's my ETF. I'm really feeling this ETF, folks. If I don't want to pick any specific stock at any particular time, I can look at the ETF, which looks at the whole space. I love this play. Relative value, relative safety, both at ones. But look at this. It is the fastest moving even amongst all of the stocks that I have. VST above 1, CI above 1. This has got the best combination of everything and keeps me in play no matter what any of the stocks in that industry is doing. I really, really like that. All right. So again, all went up today, but I'm really paying attention to defend. I'm also paying attention to General Dynamics, undervalued, fundamentally sound company. The problem is it's not going up in price right now. It does have a VST above 1 and a relative CI above 1 and an earnings growth double digits. So does Boeing. Boeing's been under so much selling pressure with all of the stuff that's going on. But to go over to the UK and lead the pack in orders, people are still looking to Boeing to buy stuff. All right. Let's graph all of these stocks real quick. Let's go put them on the graph. And let me tell you where I stand. There it is. Defend in the fast lane. Big wick at the top, but I'm still comfortable with it. Next one, Rocket Labs. Notice that its graph, bottom left, top right, just recently pulled into the middle lane. I'd like to see it get back in the fast lane, but I do like the graph overall, bottom left, top right. Goodness gracious. Lockheed Martin, that was an earnings play a couple of days ago. That stock is killing it. I like that play. Going into the next one, Northrop Grumman, that was an earnings play. Watch that it breaks outside of the Bollinger Band. Most likely it'll retrace back. I don't think it's going to retrace back into the middle lane. I think that it will still stay in the fast lane. Let's go to the next one, Boeing. This is my problem child. Boeing on top of Rocket Labs. Those are my 2 problem children as far as this space goes. But I'm thinking that if they can pick up orders overseas, let's go see if they start to pick up any orders in the U.S. I think that the UK orders may be what carries them for a little while. Let's go to General Dynamics. Earnings play, Nice move, hammer formation, nice break up into the fast lane, just a little higher than it was 3 months ago, but I love that very little wick at the top. All right, now something else, I got something else for you, but wait, there's more. All of these are optionable. I like that as well. If you don't want to pay the prices on some of these stocks, you can pay about 1/10 of the price by selling a covered call or buying a call or a put at the right time. How about the ones that pay dividends? 1, 2, 3, 4 out of the 6 plays in here pay dividends and decent dividend yields. What I like to see when I look at the dividend yield, I want to make sure that the earnings yield is higher than the dividend yield. That means that the dividend should be safe. Dividend yield on Lockheed Martin at 2.4, earnings yield 5.2. Dividend yield on Northrop Grumman at 1.75, earnings yield 5.21. Dividend yield on General Dynamics 1.93, earnings yield 5.16. So I like these stocks for several reasons. One, it's number 22 out of all of the industries that we have. 2, I played the OEMs, because they had a better earnings growth rate than the other 2 industries. 3, all of these stocks are optionable. 4 out of the 6 stocks that are here pay a dividend, and they're sustainable dividends. Folks, I don't think you can go wrong with any of these. If the industry is going to be on the rise, if orders are going to be given and handed out to these companies to replace what we've spent on our own, or even given away to Ukraine, all of those things have to be replaced as well. Defense, don't sleep on it. Defense, don't sleep on it. By the way, defense, don't sleep on it. As always, no matter what stocks I tell you or talk about, make sure you have stops in place, because anything can happen. All right, even the best stock in the world, anything can happen. Make sure you have stops. A good stop in an industry like this is something like a 10 or 15% trail, since the industry is such a good industry right now. So there you have it. Folks, if you like the video, make sure you hit the like button. Let me know if there's any stocks that you're looking at in the defense space that I did not talk about that you're interested in. Again, I probably will do a video in the next couple of weeks on the other 2 industries in the space to see if I can find you some other stocks to take a look at. If you're brand new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you like the content, so you'll be alerted that when videos like this come out, you'll know. Folks, this video is over. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. See ya.
Is your portfolio in need of a refresh? Want to learn the best tips and tricks for buying the right stocks at the right time? I'm Brian D'Amico, a senior investing coach here at VectorVest, and I'm inviting you to our Portfolio Challenge live stream. You'll learn step by step how to weed your portfolio of bad stocks and replace them with winning stocks. You'll walk away with a daily plan to manage your portfolio with complete confidence. Go to vectorvest.com/PC to register and download your free workbook. Mark your calendar for August 7th at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. You don't want to miss this.